Alright, what's up, people? Goddamn, I tried to start this video like 3 times. I'm just ass at starting videos. But we're here today to talk about some Attack on Titan. So, like, when I was like, what, like 18 or 17, Attack on Titan came out. And all my friends were like super duper hype about it. So I watched it and I thought that shit was fucking amazing. So I watched the whole first season like in a day, and then I read all the chapters of the manga after that first season in like the same day. Like I caught up to that shit extremely fast, and I probably read every chapter like because one chapter came out like every month until I forgot what happened. It was until the part where like they went to like the other side, and then like the Gabby and Falco started coming into the story, and that's when I was like, all right, well, this is all just too much. I want to wait for the anime to come out because there's shit that I want to see animated. Like, this is going too far into left field. So I had stopped reading when that happened. So I stopped reading it for like a year and a half, maybe like 2 years. And then the anime came out, and I thought the anime was finished when I watched it. I thought the anime was caught up, or at least it was like on a point where it was like still releasing episodes, and it was gonna finish while it was still like releasing episodes. Like, it was gonna be another hiatus. I was wrong. I caught up to the anime, and it wasn't finished. And I was like, what the fuck is happening? So now we have to wait until, I think they said it's coming out like early 2022, and I'm gonna watch it because I feel like maybe it'll connect better when I watch the anime, because so much shit happened in the manga, like at the end, like it's just so much shit. Alright, so basically Attack on Titan starts with Eren like sitting like under a tree or whatever, and the first episode is To You. It's called like To You in 2,000 Years, which it does come full circle. Like, they did a good job of that. It had to, because they started the first episode like that, so they had to make it come full circle some way. There's Eren under the tree, and he's like crying or whatever, and it's like, now when you get to the end of the anime, you know why he's crying. It's because like he can see all his fucking memories and shit. I don't understand, like, they don't explain a lot of this shit. Like, the Titans just be having weird fucking powers. Like, why the fuck does the Attack Titan have the power to see his future memories? Like, that just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't really make sense that the Attack Titan can do that. I thought that it was going to be like all Titans had the ability to see like their future and past memories. That's what I thought it was going to be. I didn't know it was just like a power just like specific to the Attack Titan. But it makes sense. It makes sense that the Attack Titan has that. Well, no, it doesn't, because they said exclusively the Attack Titan has the power to see the future. So then how? Because I was thinking that if the crown, or like the royal people or whatever that wanted to keep a humanity, or like the what is it? I don't even know how to call it, like the Eldian people that left to the island that wanted to keep them in the walls, like the king whatever family. Like, I was thinking they had the power to see the future, so that's why they were making the decisions that they were making, because they knew like in the future, like if they would have did anything else, it wouldn't have worked. Like, this is how it's supposed to happen. But no, it's just the Attack Titan that has that power. So it's just fucking weird. Like, how did Eren's dad not have, like, this is why you shouldn't bring like time travel type shit into like anything, because it just opens up too many fucking questions. Like, well, how did Grisha not see the future then? Like, how did Eren's dad not see the future? If the Attack Titan's power is to see the future, how could he not see this future where Eren does all this bullshit? Like, I just don't understand. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. How did no other Attack Titan see that future where Eren was going to do all this bullshit? Like, and is it like, I mean, I guess it's like a type thing where like you can see the future, but it's like unchangeable. But that doesn't make, it's just a paradox. Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, if I can see the future while I'm in the past, and it's an undesirable future, why can I not change that shit? Like, why does it have to be that? Like, it doesn't make any sense why I can't change the future if I see it. If I can see the future and I don't like it. Eren obviously did not like the future that he saw. It's very clear and evident that at the end he did not like the future he saw, but he just didn't see any other way. But maybe it's just because that was just Eren's drive, and that was just his goal and his dream. Like, I guess that's really the point. Like, his goal and drive and dream in the beginning was to get rid of all Titans. But if Eren's influencing shit, like, it's just so confusing, man. Like, you should not bring time travel shit into shit. Like, it's just too much. It is too much. Like, and the fact that Eren was like actively influencing his dad's like actions and shit, and the fact that Eren was controlling, so basically Eren controlled the Titan that ate his mom, because Bertolt wasn't supposed to die at that point. But how the fuck is Eren even doing that shit? Because it's future Eren. Eren at that moment didn't have the Attack Titan ability, so what the fuck is future Eren like doing this shit? Like, it's just so fucking weird. I don't understand how Eren, but I guess they did say like the power is like absolute or some shit, so it's like, if you're the Attack Titan now and you have the Attack Titan's power now, then like time basically is an illusion, and like you can affect shit in the future and in the past because it's all basically happening at the same time to the Attack Titan. But that's just that. But how does that only affect what Eren does? Is it just that Eren's like will is just so fucking strong that he just affects every? Oh shit! I think that is what it is. Now that I think about it, crap. Because Eren did say something similar to that, like or similar to that to Armin when he kept seeing Annie when she was frozen in like the crystal, whatever the fuck. He was saying. Also, by the way, Eren did not have to do that to Mikasa. I was fucking hurt. I was like, damn, Eren, like you really an asshole. Like I don't even care if that what the fuck greater point that shit was for. Like you just a dick. But like, he did say something similar. He was saying fucking if memories are what make like a human being like who they are today, like if who I am today is just a culmination of all the things that I've ever been through, all the memories I've ever had, like, and I'm just applying those shits to like any situation that I'm in today, that technically like my memories in my past make me who I am to a certain extent. So like that's why Armin towards the end of the anime or the end of the show grew such like an affinity for Annie, to where he actually had feelings for her at the end, where I don't think that it was ever hinted that Armin had feelings for Annie at any point before he like became the Colossal Titan. So are we to believe that Eren's will was just so strong that he affected all of the Attack Titans through history to where we got to the point that we like were like in this like at this time in the show or the anime or the fucking manga, whatever wherever we're at? I think that's the point. Alright, so I guess I get it now. It only took me like talking to myself for like fucking 5 minutes. But I guess Eren's will is just so strong. And it's just so like steadfast. And the Attack Titan is just like a fucking like every... If you're the Attack Titan like now, then it affects like your memories because the Attack Titan can see future memories. Basically, the Attack Titan is affected by like anybody that will become the Attack Titan and anybody that has been the Attack Titan up until that point. So should that mean that the Attack Titan is kind of the same person the whole time? Or I mean, I guess they're not the same person. I guess this is kind of really interesting now that I think about it this way. Because basically every other person that it has been the Attack Titan basically has just been like super like affected by Eren and like in his mindset and what like he actually wants to do. Even before Eren was born, they were still affected by the future like memory of like who Eren is and like his drive. So basically everything that happened, and we don't even know all the stuff that happened with the Attack Titan before this point, but everything that happened with the Attack Titan before Eren becomes the Attack Titan was still controlled and driven by Eren's will for all Titans to die and for them not to exist, which is what happens at the end of the manga. So I guess it does kind of make sense. It was just that Eren had the strongest will out of everybody, and he just wanted Titans to be gone. He didn't want like all this other shit that everybody else wanted. Like he just wanted Titans to be dead. Also, what happened? I don't understand how the fuck so much shit be happening to Levi, yo, and I don't understand how the fuck he survives. Levi definitely should have been dead. He should have died in that explosion with what's the fuck his face? Dog, how can I not remember his name right now? Zeke. He should have died when Zeke tried to like kamikaze himself inside the back of that carriage where he tried to like kill himself with the like the thunder spear. And I don't understand how the fuck Zeke didn't die either. Like people just be surviving in this like fucking manga like for no reason. Like people just be surviving like the most bullshit scenarios. Like it's crazy. But I mean it's a shonen manga, so I mean you kinda expect that. It comes with the territory, but god damn. Like there's no fucking way Levi should have survived that shit. I thought Levi was the Titan that like put like Zeke in his like stomach or some shit. But apparently doing that just healed Zeke. I don't know how the fuck that healed Zeke either. A lot of shit happened at the end of this like manga that they just did not explain. Now that I think over it, now that I talk out loud about it, I guess a lot of it does make sense. It was just that Ymir, and the thing is, I wish the story with Ymir was more fleshed out. I wish we knew more about Ymir in the beginning, because I feel like the explanation we got was just not like satisfactory at all for how much she was set up, for how much all this shit was set up. It just didn't seem that satisfactory. And it's not like attack, and it was basically the end of it was that Ymir needed to see Mikasa give up like on like Eren for the greater good. They very rarely talked about them in like 2 chapters or 3 chapters or some shit. Like it was very, very, very cut and dry too, and they never really made a big deal about it. So to have that be what saves the day, to have love save the day when love has not been a central theme of this show like the entire time, like all the years it's been going on, which is weird to me. Like it just seemed so out of left field. It just seemed too cliche for how this show has gone so far. So I feel like this show does take on different things that most shonens at least don't tackle, because shonens normally have like a very agreeable main character, you know, very shallow like very shallow like fucking like objectives and shit. Like you don't really have to think about what's right or wrong in a fucking shonen most of the time. I think for the most part it's really right clear in front of your face, like, yeah, this is right and this is wrong. There's no way to different way to interpret those things. But and I feel like in Attack on Titan, it gets to a point where sometimes you can interpret things in a different way. Like, oh, maybe we should do that. Maybe we shouldn't do that. Maybe we should save Erwin instead of fucking Armin. Or maybe we should give Levi Titan powers or whatever. Fuck, like there's different things that you could do. I feel like it's not. I don't know. Maybe it's just the stakes in Attack on Titan seemed higher than most shonens I watch, because they're just not afraid to kill people off. Like they gave no fucks about killing people, except for, you know, people like important to the plot. But even then, like they could die. Like, and they kept people that weren't that important to the plot around just for the sole purpose of like, hey, these people could die at any point and it won't fucking matter. So just letting y'all know. And that's basically what happened with Sasha. Like Sasha had no importance to the plot really, but like she was around and people enjoyed her character. And then she died. Fucking Gabby shot her. Like, dog, I hated Gabby, but I want to talk about that too, because I really liked their arc, because I feel like their arc was really important. Their arc really was what the entire show was about, I think. It was mostly about, you know, when you're young and you're a kid, you get programmed to believe like certain things. You get programmed to hate certain people. Maybe you get programmed to like, even especially in like a war, you get programmed to like hate the enemy. Like if you go back into like the 1930s or 40s or 50s or even now, basically in America, like kids were taught that like Russians were evil and like that they were the worst thing in the world and that communism is going to take over the world and fuck everybody. And so people grew up with that belief. Like if you talk to like 50 or 60-year-old people now, like they will have zero trust, even though Russia is not a trustable country anyway. They will still hate. They hate Russia. Like it's like a propaganda type thing, and it's just like it's put into your head. There's probably like a better example than like America and Russia, but I just cannot. Fuck. Okay, yeah. I could probably find like a better example than like Russia and America. Everybody wants the same thing. Everybody wants to be safe. Everyone wants to be fucking happy and shit. Everybody wants to be able to live a good life. Like, but if you are in this war type scenario, you know, thinking like that isn't going to get shit accomplished. Like, you can't kill somebody when you fucking like care about them and shit. Like when you're thinking about like their mom, it's harder to kill somebody. Like, and that's the whole like point I think of the show, is to realize that even fucking in any disagreement, in any battle and all that shit, both sides have humans on it, and like you can't take the humanity away from any situation. Like, because that only breeds negative shit. Like, war breeds more war. Like, negative actions breed other negative actions. Like, and that really is just the point of the show, I think. And it's just like getting above that and breaking that cycle of just doing negative shit, and then someone, it's like one country bombs the other country, then the other country bombs in retaliation, and now the other country's bombing in retaliation for that retaliation. And it just goes back and forth. It doesn't stop. Like, and that's not really like super like deep or profound or something like Attack on Titan has said, and there's no one else. But I think that it's a pretty good message. Like, I really appreciate the message of war breeds more war. And I don't know, I like that shit. I like Gabby's arc. I like how Gabby kind of turned around and realized like the people that were fighting, the people on the other side of these wars are just people like us. Like, it's not like they're like a different species or like a different like a fucking like demon, or like what do they call them in the manga, devils. Like, they're actual like people. Like, it's just, and we're fighting people and we're demonizing people literally. So I don't know, but I just thought that was pretty cool. I like how Falco was woke to that shit pretty early on. Um, what else? I really didn't think that Eren was gonna be able to, kill all Titans like he said he wanted to do, but he did that shit. Like he did say he wanted to kill all Titans, and that seemed like a goal that was unreachable, like impossible. And then like they did it, but they did it in a way where they explained so much other shit. Like they made you like pay attention to the stakes of the world and like the stakes of the characters and the stakes of these other people that we don't know, and like the stakes of people that were good guys in the beginning, but then we realized they were bad guys, but then they came back to being good guys. And I still don't understand how the fuck John and Connie and Armin and Mikasa are gonna ever be cool with like fucking Reiner and Annie. Like I understand Armin said that he became a monster a long time ago, and he did because he nuclear bombed that fucking port. Like that shit was crazy. I don't understand why they didn't just use that power. Like, and I guess that's like a selective thing. Like when you learn to like use the powers every time you transform, it doesn't have to be a nuclear bomb. Because I don't think Bertolt was a nuclear fucking bomb when he transformed into the Colossal Titan. He just turned into a big Titan. It wasn't like Armin. Armin's over here nuking shit every time he transforms. Like he can't transform whenever it's convenient because he will nuke everything. Like it's crazy. That's pretty much all I had to say. Mikasa is still that shit, but Mikasa, I don't know. The more I watched the anime and read the manga, Mikasa just became more and more of like a two-dimensional character. She was always a two-dimensional character, but I wanted to believe there was an extra dimension there, but I don't think so. I think it was just two dimensions the entire time. Like she was just like obsessed with Eren, and she's just really fucking strong, and that was it. I kind of wanted to see other parts of the world in Attack on Titan too. I wonder if they would have like a spin-off manga or something. They've had like multiple spin-off mangas, like, so maybe they'll have another one that just kind of explores the rest of the world like before, because there's just so many questions about the world of Attack on Titan still in the lore. Like there's just so much shit happening. They just do so much at me at the end. Like I just had to do so many weird questions. Like what happens to the world after this? Like I know at the end, like they were like negotiating peace, and like what fucking Historia is like the president basically, or the dictator. I don't know what the fuck her title is, but she's in control of the island basically, and she has Eren's son, which is just some shit that they just threw in there too. Like what the fuck? The reveal, and basically the reason all of this is happening is because what's her fucking face? Ymir was in love with the king that did all this bullshit. He's the guy that started all this, like this asshole ass king. And I guess it's like, what's it called? Syndrome, like, fucking... I can't remember what it's called. It's like the syndrome, like, where you're in jail, or, like, you got kidnapped, or you're, like, a captive or whatever, but you don't want to leave your captor. Like, you're, like... Because you feel safer, even though you know it's abusive, you know this is bullshit, you feel safer in the bullshit than to be outside of it. Like, Stockholm Syndrome. Like, it's basically like Stockholm Syndrome, and that's basically, like, the entire manga is just that. And like that's the reason everything's happening. And I guess it kind of makes sense because maybe she was obsessed with the king the same way that Mikasa is like obsessed with Eren for like no reason. So like that's why their bond had to be the one that like broke the Ymir's bond with the king or whatever. I don't know. Definitely could have been explained way better. Maybe they'll explain it better in the anime, but this is going on for too long. So it was a good manga. I enjoyed it. It could have ended a lot more, like, a lot better. Like it could have been way better, way more thought out, like the way it ended. But whatever, man. Like it was still good for what it was. Maybe I'm missing something though. So like if someone knows something or fucking thinks something that I don't fucking know, you just tell me because I want to figure this shit out. I finished reading this manga maybe like a week or two ago. And I'm just like still thinking like, what the fuck, bro? Like, how does all this? They just do so much shit. They just do so much shit at the thing. And why wouldn't? But it's just, it just makes me so mad because it's so fucking weird. Eren just wanted to complete his goal of getting rid of the Titans. Like he didn't give a fuck about anybody else. But I guess he knew that everyone else was going to survive because he can see the future. He knew all his friends were going to survive, so that's why he was doing all this shit. He was killing all these fucking people. But I still don't think it's right. Even if that's what Eren wanted. Even if he achieved his goal, I don't think that his goal was like a moral one or like the greater good or like the right thing to do in general, just because of how many fucking people had to die because of his bullshit. Like innocent people and kids and all that shit. Like, I don't know. He should have just left it up to Armin, but like, Armin's plans weren't working either at the end. So maybe this is really all he could have did, but to save the people that he cared about. But god damn, man, god damn, yeah, that shit's crazy. I don't know, but that's why I like Attack on Titan, because it brings up these moral like questions and problems and shit. Like nothing's ever like black and white. It's always a shade of fucking gray, and that's why I like it so much. So I guess Attack on Titan, I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10, maybe an 8 out of 10. And yeah, that's it. I'll see y'all.